we go. What's up, everybody? Anibal here. You're watching Dreams to Reality podcast. Today, we're here in the lovely city of Monterey Park. We're at the No Fronts Actors Workshop here with my coach. He's also an actor, producer, director, writer, switchblade enthusiast. He does it all. He's also an acting coach as well. We also have my good friend Alex Seyum. He is a filmmaker, and today we're going to be talking about a short film that these guys created, are producing, and hopefully get some help from you guys to help fund it as well. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Oh yeah,
I've been looking forward to being on this one.
I know, man. It's been some time coming. You know, I think it's been like a few months since I last saw you.
Yeah, bro. I think I saw you like July of last year. Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, bro. Because then I took off. I went on vacation with the fam, and then I went to Denver to go do that gig, and then the holidays came and went. So
that's crazy, man. Well, it's a pleasure seeing you again. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day. I know both of you guys are super busy all the time. I've been seeing you guys working, grinding, creating, which is what artists do, you know. So birds fly and actors act, you know, and filmmakers make films, and that's what we do. Exactly. So today I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this short film that you guys you co-wrote together.
Yes, sir.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about how this project came to be?
Yeah, so let me kick it off real quick. So the film is called The Lost Angels.
Yeah.
Right? And it's about the 1990s party crew scene.
Yeah.
So myself, personally, I grew up in the scene. I was born in L.A., born in Boyle Heights at USC Medical Center, and moved to Rialto back in 1989.
There we go.
So back in 1989, there was a large movement from L.A. to the IE to buy new homes.
Yeah.
Our family was part of that movement, and we moved to Rialto, north side of Rialto. And the 90s came, Tupac came, Biggie came, all the music came, Cypress Hill came.
Yeah.
Went through middle school. Middle school was like everybody was in a cholo scene, right?
Yeah.
Baggy pants, solos, Dickies, Ben Davis.
Yeah.
Everybody was cholos, right? And summertime came, transitioning into high school. And I remember right before school was kind of, eighth grade was ending, like the Doors started coming in, Morrissey started coming in, different type of music, like new wave music started coming in the scene. And coming straight into high school in ninth grade, man, all my friends were rebels, party girls, groovers, ravers, like the whole scene exploded in 1997.
Yeah.
That's when I went to high school. And from 1997 all the way through 2001 was this whole party crew scene that I lived through and experienced with my friends growing up in Rialto,
That's crazy, man. So it's a timepiece. 90's.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was that whole scene just here, like in LA? Because I mean, I grew up in the IE as well, and I was telling you that era was like right before I became a teenager. So I was a kid. I was probably like 8, 9, 10 years old. But I remember the whole rebel scene and the cholos and them always fighting. That's what I remember, them always getting into fights.
I think it exploded in the early 90s, though, or even before that, because I remember that.
late 80s.
Yeah, my closest homie at the time, and I grew up in Echo Park at the time, so I went to Belmont High, went to Virgil Middle School. We were going to the ditching parties when I was in middle school, so this was like 93, 94. And my homie's big sister, who was already a junior at Marshall, she was going to the ditching parties too, right?
Yeah.
And it was and it was one of those things that if you didn't have a flyer, you couldn't go, you couldn't get in, because they're looking at you like, who the fuck sent you? You know what I mean? I don't fucking know you. And that's kind of like the essence of what we're trying to capture with this film, right? It's a period piece and it's a nostalgia piece, but it's also broken off from real circumstances and real experiences. And like one of the things that I loved about collaborating with Alex Carnival here was that he has such a rich knowledge of the scene, and coupled with my own experience in the scene, even though he was experiencing it in the IE and I was experiencing it in like central LA, it was still the same thing. You know what I mean? Because people were coming together for the music, they were coming together for the camaraderie, they were coming together for the dance battles, for the fucking clothing, bro. Like you could break people down based on what kind of shoes they wore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What kind of hairstyles they had. Like, and it wasn't so much about breaking people off into sections. It was more about like who was the dopest at doing the thing that was popular at the time, which was dancing, right?
Yeah. I remember back in high school, man, it was crazy, just walking into the schoolyard. Like you said, everything was broken down. The rebels, the party girls, the greasers, the groovers, the skaters, the fucking jocks and shit.
The paisas.
The paisas.
Yeah, with their soccer balls, yo.
Everything, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Today, I see all these high school kids with uniforms, so you can't even tell nobody apart. Back in our days, we had no uniforms. It was just like you dressed the style, you know what I mean? Whatever it was,
Yeah. To me, art is medicine, and it's healing. And a film to me is like the epitome of art because you can incorporate all the different modalities of art into one. The music of that scene, the wardrobe, the imagery, like everything into one, the philosophy. So what's the story of The Lost Angels? What's the characters and the story pretty much?
Yeah, so pretty much how the story came about was I was working on a first draft, right? And Alex is a writer, very talented writer, and I met him through, the work that he does. And I brought it to the table. I said, hey, man, I'm working on this, this 90s party crew film. And he got excited. Like, as soon as I talked about it, he was like, bro, like, I got to be on that too. So we were like talking about it. He was working on Romeo and Juliet at that time.
Yeah.
Rolling through East LA. That was his project. And pretty much I was taking life experiences that I went through, personal experiences, personal things that I saw, witnessed, and experienced, and I brought it to the script. And pretty much what I came up with was about three best friends.
Okay.
Fonzie, Demon, and Eddie Angel. And these guys grew up in the party crew scene. They started their own clique called the Lost Angels.
I see.
The circumstances of their friendship are put into jeopardy when Demon, he gets addicted to drugs. He's cocaine, crystal meth, and it fucks up the crew that they're with. Fonzie gets sent away to jail based on his actions. Eddie Angel stuck in the middle, finding, like his loyalty. Where does it stand?
Yeah.
With Fonzie or with Demon? So he's put in this predicament, and the story's about that, about these brothers, these best friends trying to figure out how they're going to survive, live in the streets and their, their friendship.
And it's also about the party crew scene at the time and how influential the party crew scene was in creating our identities. Like one of the things that I love about the trailer that Carnival dropped a few weeks ago is that we're getting so much love from the community of folks that were saying, yo, I was there. Damn, you got it spot on. I remember this, I remember that. And so they start reminiscing, they start going down memory lane. I think the importance of the story, aside from it being about these three best friends that are caught in this cycle of life, right? It's like the circumstances of life. We come from really disenfranchised backgrounds. We come from really underserved communities. And the only thing that these three guys have, aside from each other's love and friendship, is this party crew, this scene that they created for themselves. There's this beautiful monologue that Fonzie gives in the story where he talks passionately about why he started the party crew, because it was for the ones that didn't have a home. It was for the ones that didn't fit in, because like Carnival just mentioned, there was a bunch of different cliques, right? You have the rebels, the groovers, the greasers, the paisas, the skaters, blah, 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 blah. But where do you fit in? Right. And so the party crews were born just like all great things, right? They're born out of necessity.
Right.
And that necessity was a form of expression, and the form of expression came from the dance battles and being able to find your place within a space that you probably had no business in, right? And I live by this saying that if there's no room for you at the table, then go fucking create your own table.
Yeah.
And that's what the Lost Angels did. They created their own lane. They created their own table. And by doing that, they started and contributed to a much bigger movement. And so the film tracks the decade of the party crew scene, and we see how the party crew scene gets started with them, and then how it evolves and it merges, and eventually how it dies out, because all good things eventually have to die too.
Yeah. That's interesting, man. And I was talking to Carnival right before we started the podcast about the teaser, the short trailer that you guys created to promote the film and to fund it, to be able to actually shoot the short film. And because you made another film before, this is your second film that you're going to be shooting, right, Carnival? Yeah. And you had used this strategy as well before, and you were successful with it. And I thought it's brilliant. You know, you get to actually show what it is, the concept of your film, and what it's going to look like, you know, because I think most people that are going to be watching this are artists that have all these great ideas. You know, ideas to me are a dime a dozen. You know, what's hard is actually creating something and executing something. The preparation that goes behind the scenes, the planning, all the work that leads up to actually action is to me the hardest part, you know. And I find anyone that actually creates something, like, my hat tips off to them, because I'm like, man, how did you do it? Well, like, how did you do it?
Well, I'll tell you this, like what we were talking about earlier, it's like, I've been in this industry for almost 15 years, right, as an independent filmmaker, right? Yeah. And I remember back in the days when I went to film school, you know, they taught us how to put together pitch decks. Hey, pitch your project out, do the visuals so people can see it. And I don't trust that shit, you know what I mean? Because I know talented people on Photoshop doing their thing, and they put together these Christopher Nolan grabs and the Dark Knight Rises grabs, and they're like, my film is gonna look like this. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm excited for it, right? Yeah. And I go down, sit in the theater, sit in the film festivals, and I watch their film. I'm like, that shit's crap, homie. Like, you lied to me. You fucking lied to me.
Bamboozled.
Don't tell me that, like, this is your directing style and shit. This is your writing style. Nah, man. So I saw that for years and years. And I was like, you know what? Let me just put together something myself that I wrote, produced, directed, and let me show people what I can do. And this is a truthful depiction of my work. Yeah. And I did that with The Sunrises. I shot a fake trailer, put it out there, and I was able to raise $25K based off that trailer. Yeah. Right? People believing, oh shit, okay, this fool ain't lying. He knows he can do his shit. And so based off that formula, that's why I put together the teaser for The Lost Angels, showing the community, hey, I lived this life. I was there. This is what it's going to look like. And we've had a great response from the community. And it's like, look, I'm being honest with you. This is what I can do. And I want to make something epic with Alex here, with the community here, with their help. You know, we're going to make a dope ass epic fucking film, you know?
Yeah, man. And it's our stories. It's our stories. It's our stories.
People who look like us.
Yeah. And we're showing it with our people, you know? Exactly. So I know a lot of the actors that you use for this trailer are actors that Alex is actually coaching, has trained before. So who was directing when you guys shot the trailer?
I was director. I'm the director.
You're the director for the film. Yeah. And I know you're also working with, what's her name again, as a producer for the film?
I'm working with Sandra Verona.
Sandra Verona as well.
Shout out to Sandra. She wasn't here today. Hope you feel better.
Yeah. So how did all three of you guys meet, you know, and how did you come together to create this?
So pretty much, you know, Alex and I were working on the script, and Alex is very, very busy with theater plays, and that's his, you know, because he's an actor, he's a teacher, he's a coach, and we're working, like, I work full time, right? And I work in the art industry, and we had to find time to meet up, Zoom, grab lunch, whatever, and just continue working on the script. Yeah. So I was like, look, man, I'm gonna move forward, I'm gonna do this, and he's like, I got your back. Whenever you do it, I'll be there, and he was there. And my plan was just, look, I need to shoot it by 2024, so we shot it December 2024, had it ready for January. Pushed it out, right? And we got it out there. It got out on time because I wanted to start the new year off with this new project. So that was the plan, just moving forward and kind of getting it out there. And, you know, I reached out to Sandra at the time. So I met Sandra through another colleague, another producer that I know. Yeah. And, you know, she has a really good name in the industry. So I was like, you know what, let me reach out to her, see what she can do. I had met her. She had went to the Sunrises film premiere in Burbank. Yeah. And we met there. And, she was just on my radar. So I brought her in. And then, you know, Alex and I have been talking, working together for a while now. So we just kind of merged, you know, like Power Rangers came together.
Yeah. No, and it's great working with someone that, excuse me. It's good to work with someone that you have rapport with. Yeah. And I feel fortunate that not only is Carnival my friend and collaborator, but I've also had the opportunity to coach him and show him some things about the craft of acting. I mean, you asked how we met. Initially, we met because he had reached out to me. This is how I know that this man is serious about his craft. He reached out to me, I believe it was over the summer of 2021, before he shot The Sun Rises, and he reached out directly because he wanted one-on-one coaching. He said, I'm not an actor, but I want coaching because I want to be able to understand my actors better. And I want to be able to understand how to address them and speak their language when I need them to do something. And the best way that I can think about how to do that is that if I can put myself in their shoes. When someone understands empathy on that level from an artistic merit, you know that this is a person that is not only serious about the work that they're doing, but they genuinely care. And so that goes a long way with me. I tend to be selective with the people that I work with because energy, like time, is fleeting constantly, and people don't want to waste their time sinking their energy into projects that are not going to be fruitful or collaborations that aren't going to go anywhere. I mean, and that's just the nature of the work that we do, especially at the level that we're at, right? I mean, when we're talking going at higher levels, when you're playing with multi-million-dollar contracts and things of that nature, by that time you should have a team that's already solidified. Now I understand in retrospect why Spielberg works with the same people, why all the great directors like Coppola or any of them really, like why they work with the same people over and over and time again, because they want that reliability, but more importantly, they want that synergy. So when Carnival approached me with this idea for for The Lost Angels, the reason why I got excited was because it's really hard, especially nowadays in Los Angeles, to meet other creative beings that are from Los Angeles, that have similar experiences that you do, and that can come from a place of authenticity. So like, even when people hit us up and they go, well, I hope this is good, because if it's not good, blah, 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 blah. And like, bro, don't even trip. You know what I mean? Like,
didn't you watch the trailer?
Trust me, our credit is good. You know what I mean? Like, so working with him has been such a blessing, because it also reminds me that he walks his talk, right? He is willing to do what needs to be done. So when we started working together, I initially didn't even end up coaching him, because I got caught up. I was doing my solo show. I was revamping it here in LA, and then when I reached out to him, he had already shot the film. But then he started coming and doing BTS for our classes for No Fronts Actors Workshop, and he always used to come and sit in the classes and go, "Yo, I want to take the classes. I just don't have the time right now." And I can respect somebody that is honest with themselves and say, "I want to commit to this, but I don't have the capacity to do that." And then last year, he was like, "Yo, I'm ready to do it." I'm like, "You ready to do it?" I'm ready to do it. And Anibal, you've trained with me. You know this process can be hard sometimes, because you're asked to really look at yourself and swim in a pool of your own shit and then ask for more, right? And he did it, man. And he jumped in 10 toes deep, and he went in for it. And so, after that experience of like coaching him, putting him in one of our productions for the stage, and then him going, "Yo, you want to jump on this Los Angeles?" I'm like, "Of course, bro. There's no way that I'm not gonna not take this opportunity when I know, one, you're a solid artist, and two, you walk your talk, So for me, it was a blessing, and it was just like, yeah, dude, it's like stepping into an old pair of shoes. It's like we've been working together for a few years, but it feels like we've known each other for decades.
No,
I mean, I feel the same way, man. Like, just coming off The Last Days of Judas Iscariot with Alex Chola Productions. Man, that was an experience, bro. What was it, like 4 months of?
Yeah, we trained for 4 months, and then we did a month of the run. Yeah,
we did a month in the run, man. And just being trained by Alex and working with other actors and having that that brotherhood and that sisterhood that I went through, it was just an amazing experience. It was Alex will break you down, but he will build you back up.
Yeah, I've seen him make a lot of people cry.
Yeah, most definitely, bro.
Including myself.
Y'all cry because y'all don't have nothing else to do. I teach y'all how to feel joy. Fuck that.
Man, it was an amazing experience. You know what I mean? And I needed that because as a director, I do want to be in the shoes of the actor. I want to listen to those directions and I want to feel those same emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got to experience that live on stage. We did like 12 performances. I can't remember something like that around that range. You know, and just being in the class, you know, and just being with the other students and going through it, man. But it was a wonderful experience, like taking down that acting responsibility, you know. That's
awesome. So what is the goal with the film, and what is your guys' goal individually long term? What are you looking to accomplish?
Well, I mean, so the goal with the film is this. Right now, it's written as a short, right? It's around 23 pages, so around 23-page short. Yeah. But it's the purpose of it is going to go to film festivals. We are going to hit the film festival circuit to get our names out there as filmmakers. Yeah. And we're going to hit that road. You know, we're going to hit it hard, and we're going to see where that road leads up to. But there's also other ideas that we've been talking about, and maybe you want to talk a little bit about that.
I mean, this is really it's a feature film. I think that this short can serve as a treatment. Yeah. For the feature film, because there's so much story. One of the really challenges that Carnival and I faced when we were in the writing process was how to tell all this story in 23 minutes.
It's so difficult.
And I mean, and we got the script down to 18 pages, and then we had to add a few more pages and then take away a few more pages. But really, this is a feature film. Yep. Yeah. It's a feature film that can also expand into a television series, because we're following plot A is the story between, you know, the three best friends, Eddie, Angel, Demon, and Fonzie. Yeah. Then plot B, you got the story of their lives behind what's going on before the party crew scene. Then you have the party crew scene itself as its own character, right? And the dynamics that went into what started the party crew scene. And so, you know, we can see this happening over the course of 6 seasons, where each season you have the inception of the party crew scene, then you have the midway point, and then you have ultimately, like I said, the decimation of the party crew scene. Yeah. And because eventually at some point in time everybody has to grow up, bro. Yeah. And what's beautiful about this version that we're telling right now, the short version of it, is how we see these three best friends that are really blood brothers. And I can't go more into it because then we'll spoil the broth, right? Yeah. But how they were forced to grow up too soon.
So it sounds like you're creating a world. You're creating a world where it can branch off into a TV series, feature films.
Let me adjust that. We're not creating a world. We're reintroducing the world to the world.
I see.
You get what I'm saying? Because the world existed. And the proof is in all of the love that we've been getting from the community. The proof is in all of the people that have reached out to Carnival, to Sandra, to myself, going, yo, man, I'm so excited about this. Sometimes people just want to talk to this man because they want to fucking throw their set at him. You know what I mean? I'm from this crew and this crew and this crew. You know what I mean? What about you? You know what I mean? Because it's such an integral part of who they were and who they are, right?
It's a personal story to everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody who went through this scene, you know, living in the IE, San Diego, OC, LA, you know, especially East LA. This is where the whole scene came from. You know what I mean?
You get any of the DJs hitting you up?
DJs, I got a lot of DJs hitting me up. You know, but much respect to the DJs. You know what I mean? And it's so personal. Everyone has personal experiences. Like when I launched the trailer, no joke, like I had this girl hit me up and she was literally sending me a message crying on the message because it brought back so much memories from her childhood, you know? And it's like, I'm happy that you're crying because it tapped into that part of your soul where you're like, damn, that was me. That was me, you know? And thank you for telling me that.
I met my baby daddy on the party line.
Now give us $50.
You know what I mean? And the reason too, though, like a lot of people have been hitting me up and like, you know, saying, hey, like, is this a feature film? Because, you know, $50K is a lot of money, but we're trying to do this the right way. It's a short film. $50K will cover the short film plus everything else as far as film festivals, post-production, everything we got to do. If we got to do the feature film, the feature film is going to be like $300,000 to $500,000.
Yeah. So right now you're ramping up to get the major funding for the feature. but you're looking to get 50,000 right now to create the short that could potentially build it up to the next thing, run the circuit with that one.
If somebody, I'll tell you right now, if somebody came in and say, hey, you know, let's do the feature.
Yeah,
Alex and I will crank out the feature. It'll be done like that.
We can have the feature done in a week because the story
is already there.
We've already discussed and outlined the entire story. So we have the treatment for the whole feature film. The reason why we have the short is because that's what's within our means right now, right? And that's one of the things, right, you were asking earlier, is like, what is it like to be independent filmmakers, right? That's what it means. It's being realistic. And although we have like champagne dreams, we only got Budweiser money. You know what I'm saying?
We do what we can.
So we do what we can with what we got, and we could guerrilla it all day. But at the same time, we also believe in working ethically, working responsibly and professionally. So it's very important for Carnival and I to make sure that everybody gets properly compensated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we can pull favors left and right, but at the end of the day, like, we're artists, bro. And I've been practicing my craft for almost 20 years. Yeah. So I don't feel bad when I charge people what I charge, or when I get cast in something and I'm making my SAG rate, because I fucking worked my ass off to get to that point. So we understand that if we want quality people to be in this project, and we want quality to be what is associated with this project, we need to be able to properly compensate our folks. So that's really what the money is for. It's not for us, right? Because this for us really is a labor of love. It's more about, can we raise the money, and how fast can we get it, so that we can get a quality DP, so that we can get a quality editor, so that we already have. Which we already have.
We just need
put
the
it
money
out
to pay
there.
them.
We just need to make sure to pay them, right? You know, paying our actors, bro. Right. You know what I mean?
Wait, just to jump in. So for the trailer, everybody was paid, right?
Everybody was paid.
Cast and crew was paid. Thank you to my background actors. They were fed. You know, we're in, like I said, like Alex said, we're independent filmmakers.
Yeah.
This is how we start off. You know what I mean? Like, we're not backed by HBO. We're not backed by Netflix. We're not backed by any big studios.
Right.
We're doing all this grassroots. We're literally Bernie Sanders here knocking at your door. Hey, I need to raise some money for this project. That's who we are today. But in a year from now, 2 years from now, we'll be talking a different story, you know?
Yeah. So guys, if you're out there, make sure to support the cause. Where can people donate for the film?
So right now we have a GoFundMe link. So GoFundMe, just to clarify, a lot of people think that GoFundMe is just for funerals. It's not just for funerals. Okay, GoFundMe is
just for funerals.
GoFundMe also has a GoFundMe Creative. So GoFundMe Creative, you can launch film projects.
I didn't know that. Did people think that GoFundMe is just for funerals now? What the fuck? I must be old, bro, because fucking. Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow. Okay.
It's like instead of life insurance, people have GoFundMe now.
Yeah, getting people out of jail.
The death of the party crew scene.
Look, I'll tell you this: all the GoFundMes I get is either somebody died or trying to get him out of jail. I mean, I don't know.
Shit, man.
So right now, there's a GoFundMe where people can donate. What about if there's major investors that want to maybe partner with you, or are you guys looking for that right now, or are you just looking for like the smaller, donations?
No, I mean, Alex and I, we talked. Like, we're willing to talk to anybody. If somebody comes at us with respect and as serious, we'll have a serious conversation with them.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people come out of the woodworks, honestly, just out the gate, disrespectful or trying to pull a fast one. So those type of people we ignore. Yeah. But yeah, we're willing to talk to anybody who's
it's the entertainment business, brother. So it's a dirty water sometimes. There's a lot of people that just are looking for a quick buck, and don't see the long term. But you guys are my people. We're all raza. We're trying to share our stories, and we're all artists, and I want to support my people. I want our stories to be shared to the world, so I'll definitely be supporting you guys the best that I can. If there's any investors out there that I know, I'll introduce them to you.
Anibal will be donating. No.
Yeah, I'll donate some money to you guys too. Don't worry about that.
No, but honestly though, like, for the folks that are watching this podcast, if you've made it this far, thank you. We haven't bored you away. Like, look, man, and I say this all the time, and I've been saying it to my network. if every person that follows me, that follows Anibal, that follows Carnival, if we were to put all that together, we easily got like 20,000, 30,000 people that follow us. If every individual just fucking took 2 minutes, it takes 2 minutes, yo. You click on the link, you click on donate, you put $1, just $1. Less than what it costs for you to fucking get a soda. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or even fucking $10, less than what it costs for you to get a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? That would go a long, long way. Like if every person that I know donated at least $5-10, we wouldn't need to be fundraising because we would have the funds. And there's a lot of people that are saying, yo, we want to see this project. We want to see this project. When will it come out? The sooner as we get the money, that's as soon as we start getting the project going. Because remember, as independent filmmakers, we also have to be responsible for permits, for contracts, for locations, for talent,
casting,
for
everything.
all of that, right? Food, right? We like to have real good craft services, man. Ask about me.
Yeah, exactly.
Good craft services go a long way. If you keep your people fed and you feed them well, they're happy. They'll want to work for you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Also, too, I want to give a big shout out to our DP, Samuel Diaz. This dude fucking killed it, man. He killed it.
Yeah, it looks awesome, man.
He's Latino dude, Mexican, Puerto Rican dude, talented as fuck. So, we got really talented people on the crew. Man, but like Alex said, we're independent filmmakers, so this is how we start off. Everybody who's watched literally the trailer that dropped, we got over 50,000 views. That's $50,000 right there, $1 each. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man. So I want to ask you guys some more personal questions. For Alex, you've accomplished some amazing things in the entertainment world. There's a lot of people out there that want to do the things that you've accomplished. So what's some kind of insight or value that you can provide to an artist that's out there that might be struggling, that might be lost, they don't know where to go, what to do? What's some advice that you can provide?
Well, I mean, it just depends on what outlet or avenue are you talking about. Like, what do they want to do? Right?
Let's start with actors, because I feel this is your specialty, brother.
Well, I mean, I'm fortunate. I was blessed to have gotten a traditional training. I was able to go to school for it. And I say blessed, and I know that it's a privilege. That's part of the reason why I started the No Fronts Actors Workshop with my partner, Blanca Munchola Espinosa, because we saw a need in our community, in our friends, in our colleagues, in our neighbors, people that may not have finish school, people that may not do well in standardized testing, and people that just have a passion, that want to be in front of the camera and want to be able to act. It's like, why should it be gatekept by academia, right? So for the people that want to learn how to act, you just have to, look, if you don't have the money to train, teach yourself, pick up a book, right? Read. There's a bunch of videos online now. There's a bunch of people out there that are giving free information. YouTube University, TikTok. You can start learning monologues, right? Monologues are just speeches. Learn how to memorize things. Learn how to take a piece of text and memorize those words. If you can learn how to memorize, that's the donkey work of the craft. If you can do that, you're already more than halfway there. And then reach out. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in the SoCal area. I mean, we started this because we wanted to be able to give back to our community. We wanted to be able to say, like, just because we don't have the traditional background and the traditional training doesn't mean that we can't compete at the level, right? That these professionals are doing. We're really trying to bridge the gap between underserved communities and working professionals, right? And so the best advice for people that want to be actors is this. If you can find anything else that you are remotely interested in, like the slightest thing that is interesting to you, go do that. Because this shit is hard. This is a really tough path. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and it's difficult. I am fortunate. I consider myself a working actor because I do work and I do make money as an actor. And also, you have to have thick skin. If you think that you're going to become a star in a year because you trained for 6 months with this person or that person, that's a pipe dream. It's not going to take you anywhere. Like, if you want to be famous and you want to be rich, then that's not the reason why you should be an actor. If you want to learn who you are and you want to learn to experience your life at a heightened level and to learn how to be vulnerable and honest and live with a different type of integrity, then this might be for you, but you got to be willing to jump into the pool and you got to be willing to swim in a pool of your own shit and love it. So, I mean, as an actor, I would say, if there's anything else that you want to do, go do that first. Go try that out. Because if you decide that you want to be an actor, this isn't I'm going to get good in 6 months or a year, and then I'm going to be the best actor in the world, and they're going to discover me outside of a fucking Pollo Loco. Like, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a lifetime journey, and there are folks out there, and I have friends, and I love my friends who are on TV series, who are series regulars, who are doing films now. They hit their number. But that's a rarity, and that doesn't happen often, you know?
Yeah. Most people, when they see actors, they think, oh, I'm gonna get rich and famous. You know, they think that's what acting is. But the actual work of an actor is nothing like that.
Never stops.
Yeah, it's a grind. You know? So for you, Carnival, what's some advice you could give to a aspiring filmmaker?
I'll tell you this, man. Don't lie about what you can do to get into the table. Because when it's time to work, that's when, you get exposed. Yeah. So to the individuals out there in the world, because I've heard it through film school, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. And people just tell me this shit. And I'm like, why? Why are you going to fake it till you make it? Yeah. Just be honest of what you can do and people will accept you. Okay, cool. So-and-so is limited and we'll teach this person, right? And I feel that that's the best way to move forward. But there's a lot of that shit's been going on too much in the industry to where it's like, when I hear that shit, it just gets under my skin. Yeah. So that's my advice to creatives out there. Just be honest of what you can do, and I promise you, people will bring you into the circle. They will nourish you. They'll bring you up, and they'll teach you what you don't know. Yeah,
that's great advice, man. Thank you. So to me, the artist is a hero. And the hero, obviously, we know what the hero's journey entails. They have this calling or this feeling that's inside of them that they need to express. They need to pursue this path. Like, I need to make this film. I need to act. I need to make this music. It's like an urge inside of them that they can't ignore. So they go off into this journey, and this journey is very different than the ordinary world that everybody else lives in, which is a regular 9 to 5 or whatever your surrounding is. If everybody in your environment goes to college and becomes a doctor, then that's your ordinary world. If everybody in your environment is just gangsters and cholos, that's your world. If you grew up as a Muslim and everybody's Muslim, then that's your world. But the artist is different. They stand out, right? So they go off into this journey that's completely unknown to them with this feeling, this urge. But along this journey, they meet all kinds of crazy shit. They meet wizards and fucking gnomes and people that help them, people that hurt them. But eventually it happens to every single one. They face a fucking dragon, an obstacle, something that's going to cause one of two things. It's going to cause them to either return to their ordinary world with fear and their tail tucked in between their legs and never pursue this urge that they have in them. And then they die with all their dreams and just regret. And that's a shame because a lot of artists go that route. The other route is they face the dragon, they overcome that obstacle, and then they still come back to their ordinary world, but transformed as a different person, an evolved human. And they keep on going through this journey until they become that wizard. That's why I respect Alex so much. To me, he's gone on this journey many fucking times, and I'm sure he's got a million stories of overcoming shit. But just to finish off the show here, what is some advice that you can give to the hero, the artist, the person that's out there that's in the middle of the muck? Their bills are all behind. They could get no jobs. They're freaking going through divorce. They're maybe like everything collapses at once sometimes, and they want to quit. What advice can you give them to maybe encourage them or allow them to see the light?
It's okay to put down the load when it gets too heavy. No one's going to ridicule you. No one's going to fault you for putting down the load. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be dissatisfied. It's okay to feel what you're feeling, the frustration, the anger, sometimes even the resentment because things are not working out the way that you might have imagined it. What's not okay is to give up. What's not okay is to quit because you don't know how close you can be. You don't know how just one more knock on the door, just one more audition, just one more submission can be the difference between you making it in the world of entertainment or living like what Anibal said with that regret of like, damn, I wonder what could have happened. Because when my end of days come, I don't ever want to have that. They're like, oh, I wish I would have tried. Nah, man, I'm going to continue doing this. And I was telling this to my oldest daughter the other day. I said, you know what I love about what I do? I said that there's no retirement plan for us. Yeah, I'm just going to drop dead one day in the middle of a fucking project.
And you got to pay for it.
And then you're going to have to pay for it. Or hopefully the fucking SAG-AFTRA fund is going to cover some of it, right? No, but really though, like, don't. That's the one thing. If you love this work and you're committed to this work and you've made it this far and you're at that precipice, when you're at that point where you you've gone too far to go back and the only thing you can move forward or give up, don't quit. Don't quit, because if you quit, this was never for you and you wasted all that time, right? But if you keep pushing and persevering, that's what I'm saying. It's okay to put down the load. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to step aside for a while. But then always come back to your purpose. Always come back to what brings you joy and happiness.
Yeah, man. And I 100% agree with what you said, because I know in my journey, in my 15 years of filmmaking as an independent artist, and you're self-financing your projects, it's fucking difficult, man. You try to have a little bit of savings, but then you put that savings, because I'm a crazy fucking artist, I'm going to use my savings to throw into my project because I want to see me create something. I want to show people what I can do. But I think, like Alex said, it's good to take a break, because I know in my journey, there was times where it's like, I want to fucking give up. Yeah. I'm done. But all I really needed was a break. Yeah. Take time off. Don't write that script. Don't work on this project. I go fucking to Big Bear. I go to the beach. I go hang out with some friends. Go to the bar, whatever. Do that for a few weeks. Come back straight to my artwork. Refreshed. And I learned, that way I can keep going that way.
The other thing too, if I may, real quick before I forget, is social media is a fucking lie. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's like this whole idea of constant content creation. Keeping up with the Joneses or the Zuckerbergs and shit, like that's not real. The work is always going to be there, and the work is always going to find you, and what is yours is never going to be taken away from you. It doesn't matter if it takes you 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 5 decades. And a perfect example of that is exactly what I'm experiencing right now with Carnival. It's like, look, we're in our early 40s, and we're just as excited as if we were 20. But when I was 25 years old, I've been writing since I was a kid. I could have written this story when I was 25 years old, but it wouldn't have the impact and the relevancy that it's going to have now. Yeah. So everything in its due time, right? So and we just picked it up because we decided that this is what we wanted to do. He had this idea in his heart. I was able to collaborate with him because I also understand it, and it happened exactly when it needed to happen. So like looking at other people and going, oh, this person made it at 25. This person made it at 35. This person is balling like this. This person got this deal with that. Like you don't focus on that. Focus on what's in front of you and focus on what you can control.
Yeah. 100% agree. And like I said, like with the journey too, like the journey that you were talking about, I feel like I've been through these cycles, and I'm back. Like I told Alex the other day and shit, we're chopping it up, and I was like, man, like going through some shit at my day job, and Alex was like, your day job doesn't define who you are. He's like, you're the artist. Like you are an artist. You're a writer, producer, director, everything that you do. Your day job is just, paying the bills. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it hit hard. I was like, yeah, you're right. This is just covering me for now. This is temporary until, we get that door that opens,
Yeah, I say this all the time. Like, I've worn a lot of titles. I've been a freaking personal trainer, barista, freaking salesperson, real estate, like all these titles that people wear, right? But who are you? Who am I? And I figured it out. It took me a long time, but I'm an artist and a philosopher. Yeah. And everything that I do, I express it through my art and my philosophy. The way that I think, the way that I process things, and the way that it comes out through my music, my acting, my writing, that is the way that I express it to the world. And I think you guys are doing the exact same thing with your own philosophy and your own art. So I want to thank you guys again for taking your time today, for sharing your wisdom to the world. Hopefully people took some of that and they're going to apply it in their life and create something beautiful, because the art that you share will heal you and it will heal others. There's so many films that have literally changed my trajectory of my life from just watching them, putting myself into that character and then applying some of those philosophies into my life, and they've shaped me. Same as music. Music has shaped me. All this art form has shaped who I am as a person. And if you deprive yourself from your own medicine and you deprive others from the medicine that you have, then that's a shame. So if you guys are out there, if you have a story, share it. If you have something in you, go for it. Any final words, guys?
Donate.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to follow my brother Alex Alpharaoh on Instagram, on all the socials, as well as Carnival. Stay tuned. This film's going to come out, and we'll see you guys next time.